For today, we're testing out every Forza Horizon game on the ROG Ally. So that means we're starting it off with Forza Horizon 1 on Xenia Canary, which is an Xbox 360 emulator. And for our resolution, we're playing at 1080p with the default Xbox 360 settings, obviously. For our power limit, we're starting it off with 30 watts, but I'll go down to 15 as well. This game is locked to 30 FPS, obviously. That's how it was on the original console. And there's no patch that I know of that can actually uncap the FPS. Alright, here we go. Isn't this crazy? We are playing Forza Horizon 1 on a PC handheld. And it's playing at 30 FPS so far. We are getting some stutters, but that will go away as we keep playing. This game is insanely fun and insanely good. I think for me, this is a top 2 Forza Horizon game. It is that good. It sucks that it was never on PC. But this is the best we can do. The game is playable, so I'm not going to cry about it too much. And yeah guys, 30 FPS all the way through. And going in the interior camera, everything works as well. Now I do have a patch installed, which will disable the motion blur. Because without it, there's like a cutout around the car, which I'll show you in Forza Horizon 2. Because that issue is also in that game. And it's not great. There we go, there's the shadow issue. As you guys can see, underneath the car, there's a block of choppy looking lines pretty much. So it doesn't look great, but the game is still playable, so I'm not too upset about it. And hopefully in the future it does get fixed. And if you like racing with the other cameras, like the interior cameras or the hood camera, then obviously it's not an issue for you at all. Okay, while we're here, let's drop the power limit down to 15 watts. So far guys, we are sitting at 30 FPS pretty much, which is nice. But in my experience, this does fall down into the mid to high 20s far more often versus 30 watts. So it's still playable, I guess for the most part, but it's not as smooth as playing with 30 watts. There we go, the mid 20s in the race. Not fantastic guys, but yeah, there you go. It's not as stable at 15 watts than it is at 30 watts. Alright guys, I think it's time for Forza Horizon 2. So let's back out and jump into the next game. Forza Horizon 2. This is also running under the emulator, and this game is far more intensive versus the first game. And honestly, it's not as stable either. So for this one, I'm going to be sticking to 30 watts, because at 15, it's just not worth playing at all, to be honest. So the first issue with this game is the motion blur. In the first game, I had it disabled with the patch, but as you guys can see, the road underneath the car is in focus, while everything else is blurry because of the motion blur. Second issue is the interior camera. As you guys can see, the wheel is just in pieces. The top bit is just missing completely, which is a cool look, but not how the game, I guess, was. Let's drive to this race over here. This might be off-road, which might suck with the Supra, but whatever. Alright, in the high 20s, guys, and the low 30s. So far, so good. But I am feeling some stutters as we go through the race. But regardless, it's kind of crazy how we're playing this game at almost full speed on a portable PC. And in the future, obviously, it'll get better and better, and performance will also improve as well. So, this is just the beginning. Time for Forza Horizon 3. Let's back out and jump into it. Forza Horizon 3, this was the first game that came to PC officially. On my PC, back in the day, I was using a 4-core CPU, it was an i5-4590, and my CPU was fully maxed out at 100%, and I was barely getting 60 FPS. The game wasn't stable at all, and it kind of sucked, to be honest. It wasn't that good of an experience on PC for me. But regardless, here we are with the settings at 1080p and at a mix of high and ultra. There we go. Let's choose a car. I want to choose the Tesla, because I think this is the only Forza Horizon game that has a Tesla in it. And in the game, we're sitting in the 70s and the 80s. That is quite fantastic. Again, with my OG PC, I was getting 60 FPS at most. But at this point, a small handheld PC can easily push 60 FPS at high/ultra settings. It's kind of crazy. It is pretty wild. Okay, let's drive to a race. And in the race, we're sitting in the high 60s and the low 70s. FPS has dropped down quite a bit. And using a GTR for a cross-country race was a mistake. We can barely control this thing. Ooh, let's go. Oh, this game is so good. So yeah, there we go. At 30 watts, guys, the game is playable at above 60 FPS with ease. Now playing at 15 watts. The game is still playable. It feels nice. The cars are responsive. I can't feel any stutters. So yeah, I think it's still playable. But if you need 60 FPS for a racing game, it's going to be tough with these settings at least. We're almost in second place. Oh, he flipped his car. Let's go. No way he overtakes me. How? No grip, no grip. Oh, I'm stuck. What a place to get trapped in. The next game on the list is Forza Horizon 4. And we're playing the game at 1080p at the ultra settings. Alright, here we go with that. There we go. Okay, regardless guys, we're sitting in the high 60s and the low 70s. Again, playing at ultra, 1080p. This game looks gorgeous, looks amazing. And yeah, obviously it's very much playable at above 60 FPS. We are playing at 30 watts, so playing at 15 watts will make the FPS fall down quite a bit, which I'll test in a second. This game was an interesting one. It became hated towards the end of its life cycle, and it was mainly due to the winter season and all the snow and the car sounds. But to be honest, the game is pretty good. It's not as good as Forza Horizon 3, but it's not the worst game either. Okay, in the race, guys, we're sitting in the high 50s and the low to mid 60s. Again, quite fantastic. Ideally for racing games, I want to be at 60 FPS, but 50 FPS is also good. So I'm not too upset about it. And yeah, there's no stutters, there's no lag spikes. It is a great time all around. And now 15 watts, we are sitting in the low 40s and the mid 40s. So pretty similar to Forza Horizon 3. But a bit worse, obviously. It's the newer game, it looks better, it's more intensive. And yeah, we're sitting in the mid 30s now, slash the low 40s on average. Now, is the game still playable? Yes, it is, but the car handling isn't as responsive as those higher frame rates. So keep that in mind. And the last game on the list, Forza Horizon 5. Playing at 1080p and at the high preset. And so far, we're sitting in the low to mid 50s and going up into the low 60s again. Cool. I am feeling some stutters, but that should go away as we keep playing. That was a close cut. I almost missed the checkpoint. Get out of the way. The game is still stuttering, sadly. It hasn't fully gone away yet. Everyone has just crashed back there. That was nice. Ah, I'm losing him though. What is he doing? It's going so slow. What happened? Did he crash? Please. We're so close. Oh, I think I'm third place. Oh, I got third place. There we go. The game is mostly sitting at 60 FPS with dips into the mid to high 50s. And we had some stutters like here and there as we kept going through the race. So it wasn't perfect, but it's playable enough, I think. Now time for 15 watts and the FPS falls down to 36, guys. Again in the 30s, but a bit lower than Forza Horizon 4. And in the race, we're sitting in the low 30s up into the mid 30s. The game is still playable, obviously. The car isn't as responsive, but that's about it. So yeah, the Ally kills it and can play every Forza Horizon game that's at least on PC officially at above 60 FPS. So yeah, there we have it. That is Forza Horizon, the entire collection on the ROG Ally. So thanks for watching, Happy New Year's, and I'll see you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.